Testing, 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, everyone. I'm not recording on my new phone. My new phone's right there, charging. But I'm recording on this phone, which is the phone I had right before that new phone. This video is not about talking about my phone, so before that goes onto a side tangent, let me tell you what this video is about. Jason's hair. Now, we know Jason, typically, at least most people imagine him being bald. Or, like we see in Freddy vs. Jason, and he also had it in Jason Goes to Hell, a long tuft of hair that only comes off of one part of his head. By the end of Freddy vs. Jason, that is gone because it got burned off. But it's for some reason, just like Jason's jacket from that movie, it's stuck in the people's minds. So a lot of Halloween decorations and merch and stuff had him with that one bit of hair sticking out of the side. So for some reason, it only grows on that one spot and not the rest of his head. It's weird, stringy, veiny hair. It's weird. So the two ways people usually imagine Jason are either completely bald or that. And there's a few times where he does have hair. My question is, and this is an important question right here, you could just chalk it up to inconsistencies between films from different people not caring about continuity, but that's not fun. That's the lazy way. I'm trying to think of in-universe explanations. Just like this new series I found recently, 10 Things I Still Can't Explain About series. I can't remember the name of the guy who created it. I'm still new to his channel, so I don't remember everything. But maybe I'll link one of his videos in the description of this one, maybe. And you can see what I'm talking about. He has his rule where he doesn't want to just chalk it up to, it was just a mistake by the filmmakers. Don't try to think about it. No, he always comes up with an in-universe explanation for everything. And then when he can't, he just says, well, maybe this film isn't canon. Maybe this film is its own universe. I don't know. So, using his rules, which is what I like to do anyway, I'm gonna look up, or not look up, I already have it right here. But I'm going to try to figure out which condition he has. And I'm going to go through each film and describe his status of hair in each film and how wildly inconsistent it is. And I'm going to read all these conditions and try to figure out which one could be him. Now, I'm not the best reader. I read kind of slow. So please bear with me when I go to read those. But in the first film, from the flashback scenes of him drowning, plus the swamp boy at the end, it's kind of hard to tell what swamp boy, or I guess lake boy, but he looks all swampy. Swamp boy, he's all covered in muck, so it's hard to tell if he has hair, but we see in the flashbacks, he's completely bald. So he's bald there. So is he naturally bald, or does his mom get his hair shaved because it grows weird? So he look better bald? Or does Jason choose to shave because he's self-conscious about his hair? Or does it just naturally fall out regularly, like it grows back and falls out, and he drowned when he was in his bald state? I don't know, but the reason why I'm bringing it up so much here is because we'll get back to it in part 4. So that's part 1, bald. Part 2, the only Jason that has a full, luxurious head of hair. I mean, you could say Jason X, but I wouldn't call that luxurious. His hair is ugly in that movie. But this is the only one where he has a nice, full, long, flowy locks. How he fits all that under the bag, I don't know. But he has nice, full hair. And then the very next movie, which is following right after part 2, the next day, completely bald. So did he shave it off? Like all of it? Or did it fall off? Hmm. Now the fourth movie. A lot of people think he's just bald here, but you notice, if you pay attention, at the end of the movie, when he gets his mask knocked off and he turns his head back for a minute, you see little bits of hair on the back, weird patches that are randomly, placed. That's why Tommy, when he shaved, we see he also left little bits of hair because Jason has little bits of hair in this movie, so he's trying to mimic Jason. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up and I'm going to make a big deal out of it is this Jason, out of all the makeup, it's done by Tom Savini, so it's the closest to the original that we can get. It looks the most like a grown-up version of what we see in part one. But part one was completely bald, so why did they add a little bit of hair on the back? So are they saying Jason does canonically have the ability to grow hair and then lose it? Constantly growing and losing? So what triggers it? What triggers the loss? What triggers the grow? And how he grew it weird. Like he had a full luxurious head of hair, but now it's coming in little patches randomly in little spots all on the back of his head. And it seems like they grew like that. Like I shave my head every June 1st. I'm like a sheep. I gotta shear myself to keep myself cool. And it doesn't grow back like that. Like this is still the very next day after part three, or like 2 days, because no, it's the next day. That's confusing. So he's got some supernatural regenerating hair, I guess. Maybe that's the only explanation we can think of there. How the fuck is it growing back that fast? Like if it grows in little patches and it takes a long time for him to eventually get a full head like he had in part two, all right. But the fact that it was like that, what the hell? Part six, again, just like part four, a lot of people think he's bald, but in the cabin scene, when he's walking through, we see little patches on the back of his head when he's looking around. So just like part four, although I think it's a little longer here, which makes sense with how decaying bodies work. The nails and hair look like they're growing longer when it's actually just the skin receding, so it looks like it's growing longer. You know what I mean. Then part seven, bald. So I guess that hair must have fell out as he rotted more underwater, or maybe some fish nibbled it out thinking it was a worm. Then part eight, questionably canon, bald. Part nine is when the first time we see him with that patch that would become semi-iconic. Part 10, at the beginning, he has hair, not like full flowing luxurious like part two, but it's a full head of hair, definitely. It's weird. It's kind of curly. Then by the end of the movie, he's bald because he got his head blown up and then he got put back together as Uber Jason. I guess the antworms couldn't recreate his hair, so they just left him bald. So that movie is technically a hair and a bald movie. It's both. And then we have Freddy vs. Jason, where once again he has that flowy patch. Now I should have done Freddy vs. Jason first because continuity, timeline-wise, it makes sense. But whatever, fuck it. And then 2009 is a different universe, like supposed to be a different universe, not just from bad continuity connection. This is actually intentionally meant to be a different one, so shouldn't really cover this one, but I'm going to mention it. He has a head of hair, but it's different than the other movies. It's not completely full like part 2 or part 10, but it's like stringy. But instead of being like only on one part of the head, like part 9 and Freddy vs. Jason and whatnot, it's like it starts on top of his head like normal. It's just got like, I don't know how to describe it. It's weird. Go look it up. It's weird. It's very, I guess, is thinning the right word? I'm not sure. And Jason, Never Hike Alone, Ghost Jason, not official, shouldn't be counting this, but fuck it, I'm counting it. Bald completely. And then the Jason universe kind of has something similar to 2009 going on, sort of similar. 2009, Freddy vs. Jason, this stringy hair. It's weird. Again, that one is probably a different universe as well, but maybe he has the axe chop, so maybe it's in the same universe. I don't know. The Jason universe people are being very unclear. The new prequel show is supposed to take place before the first movie, so it's supposed to be connected in canon with them. But it's part of the Jason universe, so is Jason universe? I don't know. Anyway, so now that I've described how his hair is different in each movie, it's weird. It's very inconsistent. And is there actually an in-universe explanation? Can we use one of these conditions? Well, let's find out. I cannot read these words. I think it's alopecia, which is what Will Smith's wife had. Alopecia something. An autoimmune disorder where the immune system mistakenly attacks the hair follicles. It often causes hair to fall out in small, round patches. Resurging in highly uneven. Resurging in highly uneven growth and complete bald spots, or resulting in highly uneven growth and complete bald spots. Okay. The fact that part 4 has it growing back on the back of his head, random spots. It's not consistent. It's all over the place. That could be it. And that it just seemingly fell out. Like, the idea that Jason shaved is like, where did he get the equipment to do that, and why would he do that? So it all falling out makes sense, but how did it get to a full head of hair by part 2? Why did it not fall out during that? How did it? Alopecia is a maybe. Next is, however the hell you pronounce that, causing, that one's only women, so I guess we can mark that out anyway. Wait, condition that causes women to grow. Yeah, that's only in women. Moving on. Next is werewolf syndrome. Okay, screw the scientific name. I'm going to call it werewolf syndrome. Also known as werewolf syndrome. This causes excessive hair growth over... Oh, nope, that's definitely not Jason. Nope, that causes all over the whole body. Moving on. Uncommon hair syndrome. Or not uncommon, uncomparable hair syndrome. A rare genetic anomaly that causes hair to grow in multiple unruly directions, causing an dry and fuzzy texture. I don't. Maybe that could explain Jason X hair, but nah. I don't know. I can't feel Jason's hair to find out. So no, he's not real. Maybe if I was on the set of the act when they were filming the movies and I could touch the actor's hair, maybe. But that's fake prosthetic, fake hair. That wouldn't feel like real hair, so that wouldn't help. And if Jason was real, like if I was in the movie's universe, I am not going to go near Jason and touch his hair. I am going to die if I do that. It's like the guy who took that picture that they used for the newspaper in part 5. Who the fuck? Who risked and sacrificed their life for that picture? We know they didn't make it out alive. Anyway, next one is... Yeah, okay. Next one is short abdominal syndrome, a condition where the active hair phase of the hair cycle is abnormally short, preventing the hair from growing beyond a certain length. That may explain some characters in other media, but Jason? No, we see he has a full head of hair in part two. It's long, luxurious, flowing. It's a little uneven because of his deformities, but he's basically got the moist critical hair. Basically. Okay, not exactly the same, but you know what I mean. So, no, I don't think that one's it. Next is, however the hell you say that, a physical disorder characterized by the urge to pull out. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe? Maybe. Nah, maybe? I mean, it would explain why he's almost completely bald or completely bald most of the time, and he's only had a full head of hair in like 2 movies, part 2 and part 10. But why does he have that full head in part 2? Why was he not pulling out his hair that whole time from when he drowned in 58 or 57 all the way to, when he saw his mom, get killed, and then all the way to part 2, which is 5 years later? Why would his urges to pull out his hair not be kicking in that whole time? So how did he get a full head? Okay, so that one might be out. That's a no-go. And lastly, and derma issues. So vitamin D or iron. I don't think it's that one. I mean, we assume Jason was living off the land, and isn't there a lot of iron in deer meat, if I remember correctly? Or, Let me read this better. Deficiency. Yeah, so that means lack of. So no, I don't think any of these really fit. So I guess the closest thing could be alopecia. But, maybe his weird, fast healing ability established in the novelization of Part 2 and then made canon in the films in Jason X. Maybe that explains why his hair grew back like that between Part 3 and Part 4. It's his weird healing ability causing his hair to grow fast. But, maybe it's a constant cycle of alopecia making it fall out, and then it grows back from his healing ability, but then this immune system attacks it again, and it's just constant in, out, in, out. Maybe. Still doesn't explain how he has a full head in part 2. Shouldn't he have been patchy the whole time? I tried. I guess it must be some in-universe fictional movie disease, or maybe a little bit of multiple real things that I just read working in tandem with each other, along with Jason's supernatural abilities, causing some weird side effects. Like maybe the healing factor made the hair able to grow long like it is in part 2, but then stress or something caused it to fall out when he got the machete in his shoulder, that caused it to fall out. And then by the time of part 4, healing factor started to make it grow back again. Maybe. I don't know, but that's all I'm going to do. What do you guys think, if anyone's even going to watch this? What's y'all's explanation, if you have one? And do you think I could be right? Do you think it's one of those ones I read? Or do you think there's no explanation and it's just that the movies are inconsistent and I shouldn't look too deep or take it too seriously? Just assume every film is its own standalone universe where Jason just looks that way in that universe. It's a weird way to look at it. I mean, the same events from the part 2 movie happened in part 3's universe, but part 3 is a separate universe from part 2. But no, we showed the opening of the end of part 2 is the opening of part 3, so it shows it's the same world. So Jason did just magically buff up, just like the Nick Antosca script tried to establish. It's part of his power. Every time you beat him, he comes back stronger. I don't know. I'm putting headcanons from scrapped things, and it's not really. I don't think it's supposed to be applicable, but I need explanations. Dang it, that's just how I work. Anyway, see you guys next time. Peace. Wonder if I can get it to 2020. I'm going to try that. See you guys next time. Peace.